In this session, we discuss about the stack data structures. As we know that data structure is a way of organizing the data so that the processing of the data can be done efficiently. Now, already we learned that data structures are of two types: linear data structures and non-linear data structures. Linear data structures are stack, queues, linked lists. Non-linear data structures are stack, sorry, trees and graphs. Now we see what is a stack, how it is to be implemented, what are the applications of the stack. Stack, like an array, where array is also a linear data structure. Stack is like an array is an ordered collection of elements, but the difference is the insertion as well as the deletion can be done only through one end, where that end is called the top. If you imagine saucers or plates, if you are arranging vertically, then the deletion, or we can take the cups or we can take the saucers from one end. If you want to place a saucer, we can place at that end only, that is the top. Means either insertion or deletion can be done only at the top. If I want to delete or if I want to pick a saucer from the middle or from the bottom, it is highly difficult and impossible. So that um, because the others may disturb and sometimes they may crack. So this is an example of the stack. Now the only logical view of the stack is insertion and deletion can be done only through the end. Uh, it could be through of just like a stack of plates placed on a table in a party. A guest always takes off a fresh plate from the top, and the new plates are placed onto the stack at the top. And the data structure stack is a non-primitive. Already we learned that primitive data structures are integers, characters, etc. All these are machine dependent. Using those primitive data structures, we are developing how the programmer can develop new data structures like stack, queues, etc. All these data structures are of non-primitive. Now, when an element is inserted into the stack or whether it is removed from the stack, as I told you, the top will change. If you are inserting, the top will grow up, means it will move up. When you are deleting, when you delete an element from the stack, the pop will come down, but the base, the bottom, remains same. So the only thing which is changing as you are entering or as you are inserting or deleting the elements is the top. We see, if you observe this figure, this bottom is fixed. When you push, that is done through this end. When you pop, that is also done through this end. Push is nothing but an operation of insertion through one end, through the top. Pop is also an operation of deletion through that top. So insertion of elements into the stack is called the push operation, and the deletion of elements from the stack is called the pop operation. And you can logically view that stack as shown here. After that, I'm taking here an example. Let us suppose that this is A, B, C. Already elements are inserted. First A is inserted, after that B is inserted, after that C is inserted. And then now, if you want to insert or push D, it will be placed at the top of C. Now the positions if you observe, A is in the 0th position, B is in the first position, C is in the second position, D is in the third position. It is in the third position. If you want to insert one more element, say E, that is placed at the fourth position. say E is placed at the fourth position, means the top of the stack now is at fourth position. Before this push E, the top of the stack is at third position. Before the push of the D, the top is at the second position. 0, 1, 2. It is at the means as you are inserting, as you are pushing elements, the top is going on increasing until it reaches the maximum. As you know that stack is or anything, any storage is limited, it is finite. So somewhere it is the maximum point will be there. So when it reaches maximum, we cannot add. If you add, it will become overflow. So it we can push the elements as long as the maximum is not reached. And if you observe pop, we are at the E position. We are at the E means it is in the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth location. We are at the fourth location. At that fourth location, at that fourth place, the element E is available. Now, if you try to pop, we can do only the last element which is inserted. The last element which is inserted first, that is E. The last element which is inserted will come out first. The last element which is inserted will come out first. So the E is the last element which is inserted. It will come out when you pop. It will be deleted when you pop. So the pop operation always deletes the topmost element. So the topmost element is E. It is at the fourth location. After deletion of E, the top is now at not 4. It is at 3, third position, because 0, 1, 2, 3. And if you delete one more time, if you delete it one more time, the topmost element D will be deleted. And because D is deleted, the top will be decremented. Means if you observe here the push operations and pop operations, when you push, the top is incremented. When you pop, the top is decremented. If you observe, here, the pop operation is again, if you do, C will be deleted. If you if you apply the pop operation, again B will be deleted. If you apply pop operation, A will be deleted. After deletion of C, B, A respectively, if you try to pop, there is nothing to pop or delete. So it is underflow condition. If you are trying to pop an element, from the empty stack, it is an underflow. If you are trying to insert an element into the full stack, that is overflow. Full stack is attainable or attained, it is attained when the top reaches the maximum. Overflow is the condition, then it is called overflow. When top is equal to maximum, it is called the overflow condition. In the similar way, when the top reaches the zero, then it is an underflow condition, because top reaches 0 means there are no elements. If no elements are there, if you try to pop, you will get underflow condition. This is the logic of operations on the stack. The operations what we can perform is push, pop, and when you push, the top is incremented. When you pop, the top is decremented. The top is the only thing which is varying, the position is varying, but if you observe, the bottom is not changed. We are not considering this bottom. It is always at this location. It is not changing. But in this case 1, it is a top is at 0, 1, 2. In the case 2, top is at the 3, and it is 4 in the case 3, and so on. If it is a pop, after pop operation, it will be decremented. So pop push operations change only the top position, but not the bottom position. And then the algorithm for inserting into a stack, that inserting into the stack is called as a push operation. Now let us suppose that this is the stack, we have the stack is having elements A, B, C, means stack is given here. When a stack is given, it is nothing but we are treating here stack as an array. Array is given. In addition to the array, where the top is available, that is also to be mentioned. Means stack is associated with the top, stack is associated with an array, and stack has the capacity, maximum capacity, that is max. So stack, when a stack is given to you, automatically you are given the top position, and the capacity of the stack, that is the max, is given. So A, top, max, these inputs uh, gives the status of a stack, in what situation the stack is available. Suppose A is an array, its name, top is equal to 5, means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 5 it is filled. Up to 5. Suppose here 0, 1, 2. Top is 2, means 3 elements are there. Maximum. Maximum 10 means up to maximum 10. 10th location I can fill. If it is of 11th location, I cannot fill. It is not in my hand. The stack's capacity is only up to 10. So these three, A, top, and max, these three variables are regarding the stack, and this is the item. This is the element which is to be inserted. In our example, D is the item here. So the element which is to be inserted is given as here as an item, and top in our case 0, 1, 2, it is of 2, 2, top is at 2, and A is an array. Let us suppose it is an array, and array with name A, and max. Let us suppose that our stack can accommodate 10 elements. Stack can accommodate 10 elements. Now we are discussing the algorithm. The input for this algorithm is stack, in which the element is to be inserted. The stack is associated with the top. The stack is associated with its maximum capacity. The second input is item, which is to be inserted. In our example, it is D. We are going to insert D into the stack, where the stack is already filled with three elements, and it is at the top is at the position 2. Now what we are doing is, first, before inserting, very first thing what we are doing is whether the stack is full or not, we are checking. If the stack is full, it is meaningless of addition or insertion. Even if you add, it will overflow. So I am checking whether stack is full or not. As I told you in the previous example, the verification is done just by seeing whether the top is equal to maximum or not. If top is equal to maximum, then it is overflow or stack is full. So exit. Now it will not be added. D cannot be added. So exit, come out. Otherwise go up, create a location, create a location in the sense, arrange a plate, arrange a location, that is go top, go up. We are taking that top is equal to top plus 1. We are moving up. There, that element to be inserted is placed. Means in our case, D is to be placed. In this algorithm, item is to be placed. A of top is equal to item. In that location top of the array A, we are placing item. Very simple example. Very simple algorithm it is. Clear? So the inputs are stack, which is A here. A is nothing but an array here. We are considering stack as an array here. That A is having with top, and its maximum capacity is represented with max. Step 1, we are checking whether the top is equal to max or not, whether the top reaches the maximum position or not. If it reaches maximum position, we are saying that it is overflow, it is full. Then that item cannot be inserted. That item cannot be inserted. So we are exiting. we are giving exit. Otherwise, we are going for means top is incremented. There in that location, item is inserted. A of top is equal to item. Bus over exit. How to pop from the stack? Algorithm of deletion in the stack. As I told you already, for insertion, we are checking whether it is full or not. For deletion, we are checking whether it is empty or not. If it is an empty, stack cannot be popped. Elements cannot be deleted from the stack because it is already empty. So for deletion, we are checking whether it is empty or not. The condition what we are verifying to check whether it is empty or not is top is equal to 0 or not. So that is what we have done. If top is equal to 0, just simply we are printing stack is underflow and come out, exit. Else the topmost element in the array A of top is taken into the item, bus over. Because an element is deleted, top is decremented, exit, over. Our algorithm is over. So if you want to display the elements what are available in the stack, we are to display the elements, we can write an algorithm for the display. If top is equal to 0, then there are no elements. So we are writing that stack is empty. Otherwise, from the top to 0th position, each time we are printing each element. We can pop and print, or we can simply print yeah of I. These are the algorithms associated with the stack. Okay. After this data structure, stack is discussed, and the algorithms of the operations like push and pop are studied. What is the advantage? Where can I use this stack? The next question is the stack applications, where the stack structure can be used. This logic of pushing and popping through only one end is applicable. Yes, the first application is reversing the string, or very if you consider uh, undo. Undo means what you are doing first, uh, the steps one by one in the log we are maintaining. First we printed A, after that something we have done, step 3 something, step 4 something, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, 4 steps we have done. Undo will undo the things in reverse order. First it do the step 4, but it not the step 1. So the order it has to maintain step 4 at the first one, step 3 as the second one for undoing, step 2 is the third one, and step 1 is the last one. Am I clear? So these steps this is the way you need to maintain. For undoing the things, yes, we need the stack arrangement. For reversing the strings, yes, we need the stack arrangement or stack structure. A simple application of stack is reversing the strings. To reverse the string, first we take character by character from the string and we push into the stack one by one as we read from left to the right. Once all the characters are over, we reach the end of the string. Once we reach the end of the string, all the characters are placed in the stack. If you pop now and print, it will be printed in the reverse order. All the characters will be placed in reverse order. I think, uh, suppose I am taking here reverse, REVERSE. First I am starting with R. R is placed at the top, 0th position, and then E is pushed, and then V is pushed, ERSE. Once all the strings are over, when you reach the end of the string, then pop and print. If you pop and print, first E will come. That's why stack is called as LIFO. The element which is lastly in is E. Lastly in element is E. But when you pop, it will come out first. The last in element will come out first if you follow this stack structure. That's why it is also called as LIFO list. LIFO, L-I-F-O, LIFO list. It is the list which is following last in first out order. If you are in the same way, E will come out first and then S will come out next and so on. It will reverse. If you print it, it will reverse. And the second example is whether an expression is valid or not, where the expression is having nested parentheses. It is obvious that sometimes we may miss some parentheses, left parenthesis or right parenthesis. We place left parenthesis, but we may forget to place right parenthesis correspondingly. So when you have nested parenthesis, to check whether that expression is valid or not. So very simple now. First, when you get the left parenthesis, when you are reading the string from left to right, whenever you get the left parenthesis, place it into the stack, push it. When you are when you encounter right parenthesis, instead of placing it, pop it. Means right parenthesis, left parenthesis. If you encounter left parenthesis, push it. If you encounter right parenthesis, pop it from the stack. It is not inserted. Rather, the element from the stack is popped. Suppose you have two left parentheses. Two left parentheses means first left parenthesis inserted, second left parenthesis inserted. So now the stack is having two left parentheses. As the expression is going on, it is exhausting character by character. When you encounter right parenthesis, it is not inserted. The left parenthesis which is available in the stack will be popped. Over. Its task is over. Now go for the next character. Next character. When you encounter the second right parenthesis from the stack, the left parenthesis is discarded, means popped. So at the end, if stack is empty, it is considered as the expression is valid. If you are remained with anything in the stack, or if you are getting a condition like underflow, then it is not a valid expression. So if you observe here, yes, it is a valid input because at this first one it is inserted and the second one it is deleted. When you encounter the second parenthesis, clear, it is deleted. So if you observe insert and delete, so no elements in the stack. So at the final stack is empty, so valid input. But if you observe here 2 and 1, so it is you remind with this is insertion, but only one deletion. So because of one deletion, still we remained with one parenthesis in the stack, and hence at the final it is not empty, so it is invalid input. In this way, you can check whether the input expression is valid or not containing the parenthesis. Clear? This is all about the stack. Thank you.